Hey, so it's Nevin from CMD. This is Sarah
Hi.
from CMD, Children's Ministry Deals. We want to talk about drama. We want to talk about drama. And Sarah's really high drama.
I am.
So,
Well, sometimes. Not as much as I used to.
hey, I've worked with her in children's ministry.
And I've worked with him. He's high drama.
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. But we're talking about drama and like illustration videos for children's ministry. And man, I remember being a kid and seeing some really cool, like, you know, either illustration videos or being a part of drama. You got picked to be in a drama, like,
Yeah.
it was embarrassing.
Or powerful.
And it was very powerful. You remember those things.
Yes. Well, you remember stuff that, like, you can identify with. You remember those characters or those, you know, those silly things. I mean, you remember the powerful, major drama things. You know, like One Time Blind, I was in high school at CIY, and they would put on the most powerful dramas that I could relate to as a teen or even as a young person.
Right.
Where they characters would just be living out life, you know, in these dramas and showing us how they related to God and how, you know, they wanted to leave, you know, their sin in this garbage bag. I mean, I remember them using a garbage bag in one of their, you know, in their sketches, and this person would carry their garbage around, and everybody's like, "Why are you carrying your garbage around?"
Right.
And, well, this is my garbage. You know, we'll lay it down. You know, like, you don't have to carry this around. And so it was just one of those things where I still remember, you know, 20 years later, these sketches, and, you know, vivid in my memory because we all relate to drama. We all relate to people and characters, and you know, I think that's really important for kids. You know, in your children's ministry. Kids identify with characters, whether they're silly or whether they're serious. They're going to relate to those because we just learn better from object lessons and from, you know, illustrations like that.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, you were saying One Time Blind, I was thinking of they have a video where they use a stool, and the girl, like, you know, doesn't want to give the stool to Jesus, and he's like, you got to choose who's going to sit in the seat, you know, here. And anyway, just like powerful, you don't forget that, but
We don't.
it's easy to forget. Somebody can get up and like preach or teach for like 20 minutes and like all that stuff just.
But if there's an
like,
object lesson or an illustration, that's the stuff you're going to hold on to.
So,
and that's really important.
If you compare maybe those together, like in doing children's ministry, have you found like maybe if you pair great teaching with a great object lesson to drive it home, that works pretty good?
Exactly. And kids relate to TV too. So if you have, you know, these videos to play, having multimedia in your ministry during your service is they're gonna remember that too. It helps them, their little brains, they fire all the time. They have to go back and forth, and so it's good for you to have, you know, multimedia in your services as well.
In there. I'm curious. Okay, you serving in children's ministry at Southeast Christian Church for like 6-7 years, something like that. Did you do a lot of drama with kids? Did you use more videos? Like, what kind of stuff did you do when you worked there?
We tended to lean more towards multimedia, so we did a lot of videos just because we had a lot of services in different campuses that needed to see all the same stuff.
Right.
And so, you know, we didn't use a lot of kids. We could have. Sometimes we would use them in services to help with, you know, the object lessons and stuff that when we would teach live. But we would use a lot of adults acting like kids, or, you know, we would just use us as adults.
Funny.
It was funny. Adults acting like kids. That's what I grew up on, was situations and adults acting like kids, which is hilarious.
Right.
But we used a lot of, you know, we would record it ahead of time and show it in our services too. But that was the powerful moment. Like, you know, you could teach live, and, you know, you'd have those pin drop moments where it was quiet and the kids were listening. But when you put those videos on, boom, those kids were listening. Like, I mean, they were target listening. It was awesome.
So we're all about being efficient and like trying to get the best use of our time. And just when you were talking, I was thinking, you know, if you use videos, especially like illustration videos or skit videos, once they're done, you can use them forever, over and over again. You can focus on your teaching that way. Video is ready to go. Yeah. And doing skits is kind of hard too sometimes, isn't it? Like pulling all that together.
Sometimes, you know, it's hard to reproduce those, like, or to reuse those over and over again, depending if there's a certain, you know, theme or direction that you're going with that. It relates more to other lessons more than others, but.
Yeah.
But it is. It takes a lot to pull off.
Pull off all that stuff.
Pull off it, but it's worth it. But to have it, you know, stuff already pre-made to show, that's great.
Good stuff.
So it helps out. So you can focus on, you know, ministering to the people rather than worrying about making your own video, because those take forever. So
Exactly. Cool. Well, do you have any other good drama stories or anything?
I don't know. There's so many in my brain, it's hard to pull them out.
Yeah.
But powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff. Visual. You know, I was just thinking, I had a guy call me and he said, hey, what do you think of whenever you think of a glass of water with like ripples going through it. He told it better than I can tell it. But anyway, I'm like, oh, Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, with
right?
the foot stomping.
Jurassic Park. He was like, you saw that in that movie like 20 years ago. If you see a cup with little ripples of water in it, like you'll always remember that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, just thinking, man, if we can really, communicate the gospel with those kind of things, that kids will never forget this stuff.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Anyway.
Powerful. Use it.
Powerful stuff.